Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today we're looking at the Packrat. The Packrat is a speedy eight-wheeled vehicle that was designed for deep infiltration and sabotage. First produced by Robertson Technologies, the vehicle was meant to operate on its own deep behind enemy lines for extended periods of time. While excelling in this role, the Packrat suffered during the succession wars as the decline in knowledge brought about by the conflicts. Many of their advanced fusion engines were removed for use elsewhere. The technological renaissance brought about by the Helm memory core recovery also proved to be a turning point for the Packrat. As manufacturers in the Laren Commonwealth were able to put fusion powered Packrats back into production and help spread them across the Innersphere. For our weapons and equipment, the Packrat was respectfully armed, but normally uses its high speed to evade combat, as its role is not to fight head on battles but conduct long range reconnaissance and raiding missions. Mounted in front is a Harvester 20K SRM 6 supplied by 2 tons of ammo. Covering its rear is a HS Flamer system useful for anti-infantry work and laying down concealment in or to effect an escape. The Packrat does carry an impressive amount of armor for its size. With 4 tons of armor, this helps the vehicle hold its own in limited confrontations. The 6-ton Doorman 120 fusion engine not only gives the Packrat almost exceptional speed and maneuverability, but untethers it from needing refueling during its sometimes months long missions. Each of its 8 solid tires, they're solid rubber tires, that is, impossible to deflate, have their own suspension and drive system. Supplies and repair equipment are stored efficiently, allowing the 1 ton infantry bay to carry up to 10 troops, with folding down cots providing sleeping arrangements for 8. Equally important is the Packrat's OP uh, ComT's communication system. So that's observation post. The most powerful one of its size, while not as capable as of those used during the Star League era, the OP is notable for its ability to transmit over great distances and provide local ECM coverage. So the variants that we have here are really an ice variant. So the ravages of the Succession War let led to the removal of many of the Packrat's advanced fusion engines for a heavier internal combustion engine. In order to make room for the ICE engine, the Flamer and 1 ton of armor had to be dropped. The ML. In 2798, this variant became common among the planetary militias of the Free Worlds League planets. The Flamer and Infantry Bay were exchanged for 2 forward-firing medium lasers. And then we have the SRM-2. This 2824 variant was introduced by the Compellian Confederation and expands the infantry bay to 3 tons, allowing for an entire platoon to be carried. The 6-tube missile launcher was replaced by a Harvax SRM-2 to make room for the alteration, although it still carries 2 tons of ammunition. The Packrat Gep, Gesapest, I know I'm pronouncing that wrong, developed by Loki. The Packrat Gesapest is produced by vehicular stealth armor and Bloodhound active probe and an Angel ECM suite. Protected by, not produced by. I'm sorry. Equipped with a handmade XXL fusion engine that increases the ground speed to 96 kmh, limited amphibious equipment, and environmental sealing protect the crew from hostile environments, and a 4-ton battle armor compartment prohibits the use of any weapons. So obviously that's a clan version of this. Now the design quirks is difficult to maintain and improved communications. Let's see here. Author Blaine Lee um, Parot stated in a blog entry that, according to his memory, which he admitted could be wrong, the Packrat was among the vehicles for which he invented the name and wrote the original background as initially published in the um, 3025 technical uh, readout. After being given only its art and game stats to work with for the technical workout entry. In German products, the unit's proper name was translated to uh, Pakrate. So, and then we have three pictures here. So this is the original picture that we had gotten. Nice picture, nice view of it. Then it's just a. This is out of what, the German book. So really nothing's changed. I can't really make out who this is. Oh, this is Dwayne Luce. So that's Luce's signature there, really for the same tool. And then we have somebody else drawing it out, and this is from Mike Nielsen. Uh, Another nice kind of take on it. Um, as someone that's done a little bit of art, the front looks a little goofy for what we normally see from it, but all in all, a very nice picture. I can't really complain because my own artistry being for what it is, and it's really gone to pot over the years because I don't really draw. I don't think I could do any better myself. So just being honest, actually, I would do a lot worse. All right, let's get into our D6 stats and go from there. All right, so taking a look at our pack rat here. Oops, and I forgot to change the name as I changed it from the Galleon to the pack rat. So, as a quick change that, so everything's all current. All right, keeping everything at Walker scale. Now, the reason why I'm still keeping everything at Walker scale is because all the weapons and everything else are at that scale. It doesn't mean I couldn't change it. I could put it down to speeder scale, but now that means that my body strength would be a 40 plus 1. And let's say like our flamer would be a 8D, and our SRM4 from being a 7D for all 6 missiles would now be a 9D. So yeah, I can do it. It's a minor change, but I fear if I just leave it the way it is, everything kind of works out pretty good in that regard. Um, it's a horse apiece in a lot of respects. So and something else to note as we get into this, our maneuverability is based off the little scale I have. It does seem like it's a little on the high side, though, because this is a very fast vehicle. But keeping in tradition with Battletech here, uh, the faster the vehicles are going, the harder it is to hit them. So my base is a 3D. And that's for like a 20-ton vehicle, which this is a 20-ton vehicle. So I don't have any negatives there. And as I go faster, now this is going at a speed of 11, which gives us a uh, move of 118.8 kilometers an hour at full out speed. That makes it harder to try and hit. So that's the reason why the maneuverability is so high. Essentially, just it's a hard to hit vehicle for that speed. Now, if we're trying to attack it as an infantryman or whatever, keep in mind, because we're going up two different scales, um, you're going to lose that 4D. So it's only going to be a +1. So I'm just throwing that all out there as we start off here. So keeping it at Walker scale, like I mentioned, this is only 20 tons, has a crew of 2, and passengers of 10. Now, I might have that wrong because it does say for a passenger count of 10, but there's only like enough room for 8 people to sleep at a time. Um, it doesn't really explain that the greatest, but we do have that passenger compartment in the back, and it says for 10, so I'm just leaving it as crew of 2, passengers of 10. We do have the cost that came from Sarna.net, at 408,650 seabills. We do have a cargo capacity, keeping this held over from the galleon at 500 kilograms. We do have full coverage, ground-based altitude, and then again, our maneuverability is a 40 plus 1. Let's see, our movement speed is 118.8 kilometers an hour, and our body strength is a 2D plus 1, which comes from our 20-ton figurine here. Let's see. It does have 64 armor points, and we have the two weapons. We have the flamer facing the rear, keeping the fire control at 2D like I always do. Damage is 6D, but there again, it comes with that caveat here. You roll a 1D6, and the flamer does 3D damage for that many extra rounds. So you hit it once, it's going to do damage for maybe 1, maybe 6 rounds. And of course, this is going to be your wild die. So keep in mind, if it does roll a 6, you could have that potential to go on for more. Maybe you hit it in a very critical spot or something. All right, and then we also have the. Oops, I think it's supposed to be. I think I'm messing up here. So I thought it was an SRM4, but then I'm looking at it and it's like, didn't it say an SRM6? It does. So it's an SRM6 with 45 reloads. That I think take off of there. Trying to make sure I'm keeping everything current from the book. All right, again, this is at Walker scale. Fire control is 2D. If we're firing all of them, it's going to be 7D damage with 45 reloads. If we're firing them one at a time, it's only going to be the 4D damage. But there again, then we have to figure out, how many extra missiles we're going to have in there. I think it would be a lot easier if we just said, fire them all, 7D damage, not a problem. And that rounds up all of our stats here for today. With that being said, thank you so very much for joining me. It's always wonderful having you here. Hope you're doing well, and I will see you in the next video.